From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Colorado marks its 150th birthday on Saturday. Now, here on the show, we've been highlighting some of the most fascinating pieces of the state's history ahead of the anniversary. Today, we're looking at Colorado's historic place in cinema. Colorado has played a leading role in many movies. The state's western landscapes serve as a backdrop in The Hateful Eight and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And the famous scene in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid where Paul Newman and Robert Redford leap off the edge of a cliff into the rushing river below was filmed near Durango above the Animas River.
All right. I'll jump first.
No.
Then you jump first.
No, I said.
What's the matter with you?
I can't swim!
Robert Redford famously spent a lot of time in Boulder, and actors like Cheadle and Pam Grier have all come from Colorado. This summer, a program called the Colorado 150 Film Festival is spotlighting these movies and actors with screenings of 150 films held in independent theaters across the state. To learn more about Colorado's cinematic legacy, we reached out to one of the festival's directors, Rob Duray. He spoke with me earlier this year about the festival and where Colorado's film industry might go from here. And ahead of Colorado's 150th birthday tomorrow, we're listening back to that conversation. Rob, you watched dozens of films to prepare for this festival. Why do filmmakers shoot movies on location in Colorado, and what imagery from the state tends to make it in?
I think there's a couple reasons. The first one is the natural beauty. It's one of the most beautiful states in the country, and filmmakers, they're artists. They want to capture that. And there's so many places to do it here. There's kind of no shortage of iconic backdrops, and around every corner is a new amazing scene that looks different than the last one. And so I think that's a big reason of it, is just you kind of have to do less to make your film look beautiful because it's got this beautiful natural background.
I love that.
You can fly into DIA and have a vibrant downtown scene or that kind of Main Street America feel, that kind of hometown Main Street feel.
Sure.
You can have prairie and kind of almost like that barren landscape that they used in Badlands out east. You can have mountain vistas. And so I think it's a lot of the natural beauty, but it's also that you can get so many other types of scenery and types of environments so close to each other that makes Colorado so appealing.
It's kind of got it all, no matter what a director might be looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's an example of a movie with a classic Colorado scene?
Oh, where to start? I think Butch Cassidy ranks really high. And that scene where they jump into the river, I don't know if movies get better than that. And that's so Colorado, right? A rushing river below a cliff. So to me, that one really stands out. But, we've got 150 films. All of them are made up of dozens upon dozens of scenes. We could, there's thousands out there.
Now, over the past month, you asked people to vote on their favorites for inclusion. What are some of the most popular movies that folks are excited to see during the festival?
Absolutely. The Shining is really high.
Here's Johnny!
That's an interesting one because I think the film professors amongst our crowd kind of look askance because there's only a couple scenes, mostly like establishing shots here in Colorado. I don't think Kubrick kind of famously never left England.
Right.
So it's definitely set here. It fits our criteria. Stephen King wrote it well in Boulder. There's so many Colorado connections. That one's really popular. One that I wasn't expecting was A League of Their Own. I say this as baseball season is underway.
Yeah.
As Colorado has a new women's soccer team. So I think that, the conversation about women's soccer right now, women's sports generally is buzzing here in Colorado.
Yeah.
And that one really rose to the top. They shot some films up in Fort Collins at some of the ball fields up there.
Oh.
So there's some really cool connections there.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Rob, we have to talk about Dumb and Dumber. It is one of the films you're screening during the festival, but
Yeah.
it's sort of hard to imagine it being enshrined in Colorado's cinematic legacy.
Feels good to mingle with these laid-back country folk, don't it, Hare?
I like it a lot.
What kinds of, Colorado scenes, or what will viewers recognize in that movie that is distinctly Colorado?
Oh, I think so much. So a lot of the downtown scenes were shot in Breckenridge. They skied, I think, at Breck and Loveland.
Oh, wow.
So there's the mountain scenes, which stand out, right? You're expecting to see the mountain scenes.
Yeah.
So that film uses the Stanley more than The Shining does, which is what the Stanley is known for, is The Shining.
Interesting.
Is there's actually scenes of Dumb and Dumber shot at the Stanley.
Huh.
But the other really cool thing about Dumb and Dumber is that they use Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan is such a cool place. And a number of the scenes from Dumb and Dumber were shot there. Kind of the road trip scenes, the scenes where they, you see the Rockies off in the distance, and they filmed a couple kind of headed the other direction where it's like, I can't believe we got lost. Those are all in Fort Morgan. The diner scene and the gas station convenience store scene were all shot there. So just a couple of the more memorable points of that movie were actually in Fort Morgan.
Beyond the well-known films, what are a couple of hidden gems or lesser-known productions that show a different side of Colorado on the screen?
Yeah, Badlands is one of Terrence Malick's first films. And he used La Junta, he used the area around La Junta to really set, the landscape and the barrenness is a character in that if you watch it, and the impacts that sort of landscape has on Martin Sheen. He used it just to great effect.
Kid, I got a question for you. You like people?
They're okay.
Then why'd you do it?
I don't know. I always wanted to be a criminal, I guess, just not this big one.
Colorado's film industry has some pretty serious competition from other states, including our neighbors in New Mexico, who offer financial incentives for films and shows that shoot there. How competitive has Colorado been in luring filmmakers to the state?
I think they've done a decent job with the hand they've been dealt. I think they've made a push, and I think Sundance showing up here is indication of that. There's been some high-profile productions recently, probably most recently, The Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino's film from a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
So it's possible, and it's done, and I think there's still so much room for growth.
Rob Duray is one of the organizers of the Colorado 150 Film Festival, which celebrates Colorado's place in cinematic history. He spoke with me earlier this year about it. We'll have details on the festival in our show notes and at KUNC.org. You can also find more conversations about Colorado history as we observe the state's 150th birthday on August 1st. Find them at KUNC.org or in our feed in your favorite podcast app. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Thanks so much for listening.